This hand's borderline. I think I'm gonna keep. Can you make an Esper Goryo's work? Is Archon the only card that makes the strategy viable? Well, Goryo's doesn't work on Archon. That's a big problem. When it's mulled to 4. That's yeah. You'd have to play legendary creatures. Oh fuck, I didn't mean to skip through my first turn. I thought I lost the die roll, I guess? Oops. Made it with Resurrect Obstinate. Well, Obstinate so much worse with the we'll put him ult to 4, we'll give it to him, we'll give them the F6. Yeah. Yeah, the problem with Obstinate is it used to be like really resilient and like the Fatal Push Lightning Bolt meta. But it is now much worse with Heat and Solitude. Not sure what my opponent's playing. They could be playing Blood Moon, so I think I'm gonna get a Plains. Try to get an Archon in the yard. Mountain. Sim Spiral, I think, for 2 months. Oh, they're playing Creativity. With a really weird draw. I think I'm gonna evoke Mulldrifter. Kind of don't want them to have another remand, but or Breach. Blue-red through the Breach wouldn't play this number of basics mountains usually. And Breach is also like just pretty bad into the Solitude metagame. Although, you know, to be fair, so is Creativity, I guess. Okay, this is you know, a start though. Better than the other creatures here. So I can go Unmarked Grave, Unmarked Grave. For Archon and Rites, but I think I'd rather Grief Ephemerate here. That feels pretty important. Should I dig to a reanimation spell? The Mending. Pretty good mold to 4 for my opponent. Okay. I guess I main phase this. If I draw Ephemerate, I'll draw step. Draw step Ephemerate. I want my 5th land because I've got Mulldrifters and Solitudes to hardcast. Unburial Rites. A lot of 5 drops. I actually think it's better to not attack with the Teferi or the Grief so I could block a token that attacks Teferi. And then I think I should plus in case they get an Archon into play. I can bounce the Archon next turn and sack the Grief. I wonder if they're just straight blue-red. It kind of looks like they are if they just got a Steam Bids there. It's kind of interesting. I haven't seen just straight blue-red versions of this deck in a long time. Jace. Jace is interesting here. Kind of expect my opponent to minus on the Grief. Maybe this +2 is better. They leave the card on top of my library, and then they play Wooded Foothills. So they leave that Marsh Flats. I think think I'm gonna draw a card immediately in case I hit Solitude, exile a Dwarven Mine token. Because that double block on this is pretty rough. I think I have to attack. I can't ending the Jace. I don't have a fourth color. Or 2-0. No, we lost the 2-0 to Belcher last league. Trophies traded with it early this week. Mana Symbol trophy with it. I guess I just haven't seen the list. Any region I'm not in the 4-color version? I've been winning a lot with this version lately. I honestly like have a hard time figuring out this versus Wandering Mind. I haven't played much Wandering Mind lately. But I've had like 5 trophies with this deck in the last week. Come on, Persist. You have to take that creativity. Yeah, I did do the test. I don't have my results back yet, though. I think I'll leave the fetch up because they might Jace plus again. Persist, 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 persist. Let's go. Although I guess they can get the 4th Dwarven Mine. It's at least a good top deck, right? Yeah, I did get the booster, yeah. I don't think it's COVID, but I'm waiting for my test results. I was talking about this with Esther earlier, but it's like, I almost kind of like want it to be COVID, because I feel it myself, at this point at least, because I feel myself getting a lot better. And that means like, we'll at least be like a little bit more protected from it going forward. You know what I mean? Like it might be better for me if it is COVID. Just like, so I feel like if I'm double vaccinated, boosted, and like have antibodies from having it, I just like I'll be hopefully good going forward. Dude, their top deck was Remand? No. Bill Dorothy with 4 months, appreciate you. Even the booster feel like a flight flu. Yeah, that's the thing. That's really why I don't think it's COVID, because I've had no muscle aches, no soreness, no fatigue, no fever, just sore throat and congestion. And I've had the sore throat congestion during a really bad weather change here in Texas. But I'm not a doctor. I really know nothing about anything. Just a big dummy. Sounds like I have flu. I have some kind of nasal infection, yeah. Sounds like flu? Really? I feel like flu, you also need to have, like, usually when I have flu, I get really fatigued. I haven't had flu in years, though. I also got the flu shot. Yeah, but it is possible I have it. I'm not saying I definitely don't have it. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted, I promise. Pretty sure I have Ligma. What's that? Okay. Opponent's been drawn pretty well. We do just get to cast an Archon, though. Yeah, she's been feeling fine. It's totally normal. She's also like a little congested, just like a totally normal amount. Like a little tiny bit sneezy, but like no more than usual. White source? I don't know how many we have left here. Okay. Well, this gets us rights for next turn at least. Very back and forth game. Wait here? No, you have to cast the Archon there. You can't wait. Against the active Archon, active Jace. How many Jaces does this list play? It's pretty cool. It's a lot of 4-drops, though, for multiple Jaces. Creativity and Transmogrify. It's probably too many 4-drops, to be honest. So cast this to not die to the Archon attack. Play my land because I have to discard anyways. Down to 2, dead to Prismatic Command, Lightning Bolts. Fire. Forgot to name that one. So we've drawn Ephemerate Mending into Persist. Drawn Persist off Persist. Golly. Swingy game, huh? Swingy game. I'm gonna bring in 4th Teferi, Priest of Fell Rites, and the Thoughtseizes. Cut the Prismatic Endings. Trim Mulldrifter, trim Mending, maybe? I think I want all the Solitudes. Maybe we could trim an Ephemerate. Let's do that. What about Right Solitude? I think you're supposed to high roll a bit with Archon there. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I can check my email again. Still no results last time I checked. Is an Emissary good against Archon? Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Jace, but maybe you're right. Yeah, still nothing. Can I take that remand? It's kind of close. Pretty good draw for them. Pretty good draw for me. Yeah, I feel like a white splash in this deck is pretty easy to do. Where you have the Jeskai Triumph and Teferi. Teferi is just so strong. They draw another remand? Classic Thoughtseize bug. Could just be Clue Token Crack. Classic Thoughtseize bug. Hey Doom, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better today. I know I still sound like shit, but I was like feeling about like this way on like Monday, and then I probably shouldn't have streamed on a sore throat on Wednesday. I was feeling really bad Wednesday, really bad Thursday, but like Thursday night and today I'm feeling like a lot better. I think I'm gonna Teferi again. Got another counterspell. They didn't main phase crack their Clue token to try to find a land, so I would assume they have a counterspell, but I think I'm just fine running into it. Look like shit too. Yeah, I kind of no. It's okay. It's hard not to look like shit when it's like, you know, you've been sick all week. It's kind of close. To Teferi or not to Teferi, that is the question. How many remands can they possibly draw? Okay, so I know they have Transmogrify, so I think I'm supposed to bounce the Crab. This does mean they can bolt the Teferi. I think that's okay. Because that means they're not bolting the Mulldrifter, hopefully. Does the deck run just get triumph? Maybe for... No, I think, like, you really need all your lands sitting around tapped in this deck. Like, in my opinion, in this deck, the Triumph for the 4th color is going to hurt you more than it helps you. Especially because, like, the endings, like, they really want to answer cheap cards in this deck, like Rest in Peace, Sanctifier, Dial Spellbomb. That's, like, a huge part of the reason to play them. Okay, so I'm going to Solitude the token in response to Transmogrify. Oh, I'm not doing that then. Huh. I guess I just let the Teferi die. Then I go untap. Mulldrifter, Ephemerate Mulldrifter. See what white cards I draw to Ephemerate the Solitude, or just pitch Solitude potentially. Give myself else to draw third Ephemerate. Bounce Clue there, have Solitude for Crab. Well, we knew the Transmogrify. I really just didn't want them to cast the, get an Archon and play that turn if I could help it. Not a bad turn though, huh? Why just cast the Solitude? Well, I wanted to do this too. If I'm like going up so many cards with Mulldrifter Ephemerate, I feel like it makes sense to alright, I forgot they still have the Transmogrify. Right, damn it. Yeah, I feel like it made sense to like pitch the Solitude when we're going up so many cards. Blanche, thank you for the 9 months, appreciate you. But yeah, I think I forgot that they still had this. Oh, they surgical my Solitudes. Yeah, so we're gonna need a lucky top deck, I guess. Yeah, I was gonna grave for Rites, Right Solitude, but now they've done this. So we need to draw a Persist. Classic deck, right? Just draw a Persist 5-head. Oh, okay, this is also a great draw. Can even pay for Dispute here. Spielor continuing gifted sub, love to see it. Again, Blanchett with the 9. How's it feel to just draw perfects, huh? I think I do this now, because if they get an Archon in play, I have to discard one of these cards. I mean, that's the thing about Reanimator, right? Like, it's why I kind of think it's a good deck to grind with, because when you run well with it, it does feel like somewhat unstoppable. And the reality is you do have to run well to get a trophy. Like, no matter what you're playing, you have to run somewhat well. And so if you have to run well with a deck, this is a really good one to do it with. Discard Deluge. This deck plays so many 4-drops. I don't understand. I feel like this deck plays literally 10 4-mana spells. They have multiple Jace, they have Transmogrify and Creativity, and apparently they also have Deluge. So it's like 4 Creativity, 2 Jace. I mean, like, even if they only play one of this, which I think it's probably 2 Transmogrify, and 1 Deluge, that's 6, 8, 9 4-mana spells? It's so many. But their 4-mana spells really stabilize? I mean, yeah, but how many 4-mana spells do you need, right? Symbol's playing 4 Transmogrify, 4 Creativity. Was Symbol also playing Jace and Deluge? Because it's just too many 4-drops. Like, I know we saw 2 Jaces game 1, so they have multiple Jaces and Deluge and Transmogrify and Creativity. Deluge was on the side. Okay, I guess that makes more sense. Okay, I'm gonna get something to drink. It's been too long without fluids. Okay. Weird hand. Probably a keep. Put a mold to 6 on the play here. So probably going for Mending on 2 here. Discard Rites, at least. Then I could grave for Archon. Can get Godless Shrine Island. It's fine, I think. That's an interesting draw. I could go for Grief Ephemerate this turn, but I think it's probably better to wait to next turn so I can go a 2-drop plus Grief Ephemerate, and since their combo is 4 mana, I think I've got time to wait. Follow, so I can say the sweater is great. Well, I don't think I've got follower only mode on, but I do appreciate the compliment. I do like the sweater a lot. I've been wearing it like all week. It's very warm. Pretty good hits. Didn't draw a 3rd land though. Never mind. We're running hot. It's kind of like a perfect mending, or almost perfect. Whatever. Okay, so they have Archon, Jace, Dispute, Prismatic Command. Follower only mode is on for me? Really? Do I really have follower only mode on? I really didn't mean to. How long has that been the case? Because it's not been intentional. Disable followers only mode. Oh man, I kind of embarrassed by that, I guess. Not intentional. Oh, I was probably supposed to leave them with the Transmogrify, because they can just bounce the Archon, but I have the Grief to sec to their Archon trigger. It's okay, I can I have a Mending and Rites to get the Archon back. Wait, I wonder if the chat just gets a lot more toxic now. Just follow? I don't know, it's like... I get it, like, I don't necessarily want to have to follow a channel to comment in it a little bit first, right? Just to see how I like the vibe, right? You know what I mean? It's like, if I'm gonna be in a chat and I'm gonna, oh, you know what? I probably set the follower only mode during all, like, the hate raid stuff that was happening. But if, yeah, but if there's gonna be, yeah, I usually like to wait a little bit before I follow. I usually watch the stream for a little while before I follow, so sorry about that. Wouldn't you just read a chat to see what vibes? I don't know. Yeah. Like I'll like at least like watch for a little bit. Maybe I'll just say like a thing or two, you know. It's not like a huge deal. I guess does nobody else do that? Is that just me? It's obviously not like a huge thing. I think I'm gonna Priest because it's the most mana efficient here. What streams do I watch? I watch a lot of streams, especially like when I'm done streaming for the day and I've got other stuff to work on, either like testing or writing. I'll basically always have another stream on, and like before I go live too, I'm like basically always watching Dinos and Guile. I watch a lot of Everos, a lot of Doomwake, a lot of the Happy Hob, some Yellow Hat. I watched Andrea Mengucci for the first time last night because I was awake making myself some tea at 4 a.m. taking Athena outside. So I got to watch Mengucci for the first time because he's usually live when it's like 4 a.m. for me. Playing against a Yorion deck. I don't think I'm supposed to keep a Solitude Ephemerate Reanimator hand against Yorion. Obviously it could be good, but we just don't know what your variant they're on. I think I'll put back the Solitude with this hand. So you can post a link in chat. Wasn't Mina 22 last week? No, Mina's been very slow and steady the entire time. Like just been getting a trophy a day for like the last few weeks. Very, very slow, very steady. Sometimes two. When do you bring a Priest against counterspell decks usually? Bance Blink. Coiling Oracle, Ice Fang, Eternal Witness, Solitude. So I usually prefer Wall of Omens or Wall of Blossomins to Oracle in this metagame. Oracle's kind of fragile. Like, in theory, it blocks Ragavan well, but in practice, it, like, usually just gets bolted and then get to attack through the Oracle. Not sure what my opponent's playing. So I'm just gonna cast Persist, I guess. I don't think my opponent has counter magic up. We'll see. Other than that, I feel like I actually like this list a lot. I might move off of Archmage's Charm. Man is like just kind of a nightmare in these Bant lists. Especially if you're playing Eternal Witness, it could just be kind of tough. But it is doable with like Yorion and Abundant Growth. Like your mana is better. Something to think about. Oh, sorry, I don't like these 4 cryptic commands. I think it's too many. I see that you're trying to set up the Eternal command thing, which I think is just maybe too much of like a pipe dream, if that makes sense. Just doesn't actually come up that often. It's playing against like the Urza mid-range lists. I feel like this matchup's been pretty favorable for me. Don't know that I've lost to it, but they can get some graveyard hate here with Saga, which is kind of bad. I'm just gonna cast the Grief though. Yeah, I wouldn't play more than 3. I'd probably play two cryptics, just change the number on cryptics and charm here. Because even to assemble like the cryptic command Eternal Witness lock, like you only need to draw 1 ever. Okay, Portable Hole is like literally just a dead card against me. But also getting Sword of the Meek in the graveyard is that even actively bad for me? I think it's like actively bad to put the sword in the graveyard, so I guess I'll put the hole. Not the best grief. I don't like Knight of Autumn very much in the sideboard. I would play Force of Vigor instead, even if you're light on green cards, which you're not that light on green cards. I think Force of Vigor is a lot more important. I know this is slightly good against burn, but I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. I play Supreme Verdict over Path also in the sideboard. I also think your sideboard needs some Dovin's Vetoes too. Smart Soul Hoarders. You can go that direction if you want to. It's not mandatory. Just kind of all depends. So they didn't make a token, which means they drew something to do here. Is it really Thopter Foundry? It is. I can Prismatic Ending the Thopter Foundry. I would kind of prefer to... Oh, Dude, we've been ripping pretty well. I don't know. Yeah, when you're drawing hot, like, whenever I'm drawing hot with Reanimator, I try to play a lot of it. Because it's just like, if I'm drawing well... I know that's kind of gambler's fallacy, but... This deck is just so good when you rip well. So we're three measly lands away from hardcasting Archon, which if we can find like a Mulldrifter, we could maybe find. Why not exile the sword? The Foundry has more utility. Like the Foundry just like gets to do stuff when it's sitting in play. You know what I mean? Like you can like sack portable holes that are dead. They actually get to like do stuff with it. Oh boy, got what I just vampiric tutoring every turn. Are there decks really good when you draw well? Yeah, of course. Like Belcher is an excellent deck to draw great with. Yawgmoth is a great deck to draw well with. Hammer Time, of course. But like I feel like Reanimator is like one of the best decks to like be running hot with. Like I really feel like this deck is almost it feels so unstoppable when you draw well. But of course any deck is good when you're drawing well. Obviously. But yeah, this deck is so good to race with. I think I'm bouncing the sword. Could bounce the Yorion, get in for 5. That's probably a bit better. Right. Get to bring in the Stony Silences, the 4th copy of Prismatic Ending. They usually play like a decent amount of counter magic, at least like the list I've been seeing lately. So I kind of want these Teferis, and then I think I'm supposed to trim a Mulldrifter, and then go 2/2 Solitude Grief. This is what I've been doing. Maybe I want -1 Mending, play 3 Solitude. Let's try this. Try to sure, yeah. About my mono white Oswald deck. I like the deck a lot. It's one of my favorite decks to play. Got the idea of playing with Cavern of Souls. One of. The problem with Caverns doesn't cast Portable Hole, and you're already playing a ton of colorless lands. So I don't think you have room for another colorless land. That is, I know it sometimes taps for white, but it doesn't tap white for Portable Hole, unfortunately. Terastodon is for Titan and Tron. It's kind of like the Doomwake special. It's definitely like, I've been like a hater of the Terastodon for a long time. There was like many nights in a row that I would call Doomwake at like 2 a.m. and tell him how bad the Terastodon was, and he'd be like, "Please, Spike, I'm trying to sleep. Please just let me play the Terastodon." And I was like, "No, you're gonna listen to me and tell you how bad it is." But I'm coming around to it. Yeah, I'm supposed to persist before my opponent can get graveyard hate off the Saga. I know they can get Spellbomb now, but that's not as bad, I think. Scar, I think with 13 months, appreciate you. And the problem with Stony Silence that turn is that Soul Guide Lantern still exiles the Archon. Ben with the Twitch Prime, appreciate you. What do you think about the control version of this with counterspells and agree? I feel like this version is so much more powerful than like the controlling version. Like one thing I've really like, I can't believe I kind of forgot this, but it's like Ephemerate is so freaking powerful in this deck. Where in like basically every other Reanimator version, like you just have the possibility of reanimating your Archon, but then it dies to a removal spell, and then you've just sunk so much resources into the Archon that, you know, it can be hard to pull back. But like being able to ephemerate your Archon it's insanely powerful. It is just ridiculously powerful, and I think it can be easy to forget that. So if I Mulldrifter draw 2, I get an Archon into the yard. I think I'm probably supposed to Mending instead, try to spike the untapped land. Probably should have left this up, yeah, whoops. So now my Teferi dies, didn't have to. Yeah, I also feel like Counterspell is just not that good in this archetype. It's like hard to leverage it super well. How similar is this the one that you lost to at Hunter Burton? That one was like, that one was white black and was, I think playing Smallpox, maybe not playing Smallpox. It was playing Kaya, I remember. It was a pretty different version. Okay, so I can go exile the token. Can I go to Teferi, bounce token? Then persist. They sack the Urza, bounce Teferi. Guess it's better to ending the token, because this can play around. I guess they don't have Rebuke up. Yeah, I was just debating on Teferi bounce token versus ending token first. I think both lines end up working out pretty well, to be honest. They just plus here. Not too far away from just hard casting these Archons too. Ending token, Teferi, Urza, Persist, kill Teferi. I didn't have enough. Did I have enough mana? Oh, bounce Urza with Teferi. It's kind of risky. Like if my Archon gets bounced here, I feel like it's not that big of a deal. How good is ending there Teferi? Ending Teferi then Persist. I don't know. I'm maybe more scared of Teferi than of Urza than I needed to be here. But like I'm also just like very easily gonna be able to hardcast Archon soon, like just next turn, if assuming I find one land in my next 3 looks. You can play, you know, Mulldrifter, Stony Silence, very strong turn here, right? Kind of close. A lot of good decisions there. Two cards in their hand. One of them is an Urza, looks like. Kaito Planeswalker, 2 blue black fairies. Well, that does seem like a perfect shelf for Kaito. Maybe we could have Solitude in response. I'm not sure how good I'm gonna try that card out. One thing I will say though is like Kaito seems to be a powerful new card, and it is an important lesson to learn though that like good cards don't make bad cards good. You know, there's a better way to phrase that, right? I think for the 1 year happy anniversary. Oh yeah, it's a very right good Solitude. You know what I mean? It's like Kaito is a powerful card. I think we'll have to test it, but that doesn't all of a sudden make Bitter Blossom a playable modern card. Bitter Blossom is still unplayable, in my opinion. It doesn't like I think power up the rest of the fairies deck enough to make it like a really great deck, and I think that it's more likely that Kaito is better in like a Grixis deck with Ragavan. I know that's boring, but that's likely to be where. Okay, keep this. Pre-game action, blow the nose. Scalding Tarn. Okay, so I'm gonna keep my Persist so I can, you know, Mending. Just, you know, so I can Persist the Archon. Post side, how you know how much Archons or key cards are worth putting grave? I mean, this is just a very complicated question. It's all very situational. Like, I don't have, like, a hierarchy for you to follow, you know, or anything like that. But you'll learn with experience. I don't think I'm getting Blood Moons. We'll see, I guess. Famous last words. I think they're just playing Murktide. Could be playing Storm, I guess. I think I'm pitching Grief, right? Kind of close. I would have top decked the Swamp if they Blood Moon me. That would have been so funny. Why not Grief Ephemerate on turn 1? Well, the black cards that I would have needed to pitch to Grief were Archon or Persist, and if you look at my hand, like I have Mending to discard Archon than Persist. Like I think it's better to set up for this turn, right? I guess I'm gonna Grief again. You know what I mean? So this turn where Grief can protect my combo on turn 3. Rather than just have it be turn 1 Grief Ephemerate. I think Lily of the Well Swap is. I think Liliana is fine. I've been playing some of it lately. Not that much, I guess. Okay, I guess I'll just take Gifts. And then reanimate the Archon. And Ephemerate the Archon main phase, I think. I think Gift Storm is so weird. I've been playing against a lot of weird decks lately, like a lot of taxes. Been playing against like so much death and taxes lately. It's been really weird. Thank you, Funder. Although I'm not going to the office while I'm sick. We're gonna play any Red Black Rock today. If I have time, I don't want to stream super long today because I don't want to strain my voice too much. Wondering how's the Storm matchup? Is that the yellow hat meme? I know that's a meme in Gab's channel. How's the Storm matchup? They discarded Misty instead of second Pass in Flames. That's got to be wrong, right? I guess they drew a land, so it was right. Although this does mean they're going to one, so they can't even crack their fetch land. Maybe that's why they discarded it. When I get so many trophies, I've had 4 in the last 24 hours, I think. 3 yesterday, 1 so far today. What cards could be a top end for Kaito's Ultimate Grixis Shell? You don't worry about it. Don't build a deck around a Planeswalker's Ultimate. Is my advice for you. I don't think I want Emissary. Fran, thank you for 20 months. Carrying all of us. Thanks, buddy. When I get my first trophy yesterday, you know, I maybe got it. I think I probably got it around like 11 a.m. yesterday, so maybe it's not actually 4 in 24 hours, like a little bit more than that. I think I'm gonna submit this. Fran, did you stream the Upheaval deck yet? The deck that looks like pretty sweet. Chalice against Storm. The thing is, you have to Chalice on 2 in this matchup. Chalice on 1's just not that good. It's not that bad, maybe, but it's not that good. Four 1. Did you have any good Upheaval turns? That's not bad. Yeah, Fran's the only streamer I know who like a 4-1 or 5-0 with a new like take on a deck and be like, this deck is just terrible. This deck's completely unplayable. I cast Upheaval vs. Tron, lost 5 turns later. Rough. When I take ley lines on the board, it's just like you have a really good matchup against Living End even without ley lines, and that's like the mirror is also not very popular at the moment. If the mirror becomes more popular, I'll put the ley lines back in. You have a good dredge matchup too, and like those are the 3 decks you want the ley lines for. And you know, I felt fine to cut them. I'm not sold on the Chalice in the sideboard here, but I think it's a fine flex spot. I really have no idea what I play instead. Phoenix or Affinity and FNM unknown meta. I mean, it's FNM. Just play what you want to play, man. That's always what's most important at FNM, I feel. Yeah, I really want to cast Upheaval too, to be honest. Maybe I'm supposed to keep Mending because I have 2 Archons in hand. Uh-oh. I feel like it's hard to die from the spot. Famous last words. Kind of weird they printed Persist, Archon, Unmarked Grave in the same set. Not weird at all. It was very intentional. They were just trying to like make Reanimator a playable archetype, and they just printed all the support in the same spot. No, we can beat that. I think. It was very intentional, I think. Do we beat this? I don't know. Dan, thank you for Twitch Prime. Appreciate ya. really wish I had that mending. Solitude's interesting. If I draw another land, Solitude is a decent swing in my favor. So I block 1, take 12 down to 10. Attack, make them sec down to 11 goblins. And I go up to 13. It's gonna be close. Yeah, it needs Unmarked Grave for Is It Static Caster. Yeah, I've seen the Urayo decks in the past. I think if we would try to play it like pre-image 2. Just like a lot less viable without Opal though, to be honest. They did keep a card on top here. Scary. Yeah, we do win with 2 more attacks. They like, but if they can find like a little grave shot, like a mini tiny grave shot, could lose. If we don't draw a land to hardcast Solitude. Yeah, I guess we have a lot of good draws. It's an interesting one. Just attack first. Sack a creature, any creature. They choose to sack a goblin. So I shock and fetch, I go down to 10. Okay, they just conceded. Okay, cool. Easy peasy, huh? 3-0. 3-0. Alright, good hand. Really keepable. Trying to think what lands I want. It's either Watery Grave Plains or Godless Shrine Island. I think Watery Grave Plains. I think against like a imaginary Blood Moon, Plains is a little bit better than Island here, right? Sacred Foundry tapped. Interesting. Last race I ended with 42 trophies, so I have already passed that number. And every trophy from here on out is a new PB. Personal best. What is this? It's Dredge with double Sacred Foundry. I did take the ley lines out, but I feel like Dredge is a fine matchup. But they've got a really good Dredge here. So, you know, I'm a little ways away from reanimating Archon if I don't find Persist. I maybe have a turn 4 with the Rites, right? Hopefully that's not too slow. I think we're gonna go Teferi, bounce a Amalgam here. If I draw a black card or white card, I'm probably gonna Incarnation. Be awesome to break triple digits. Yeah. Probably not possible. Maybe like theoretically possible, but humanly possible, unlikely. Why did I have to draw this? I probably have to grief here, right? Yeah, I probably have to grief here. I'm just like so cold to another reunion effect. They have no treasures in the yard. Cool. You can ban and unban a single card in Modern. Okay, I would ban Ragavan, and then I just unban it again. Ban it, and then unban it. Please, Spike, no! You were supposed to save the Modern format, not troll us! No, I'd probably ban Luris, unban Bridge from Below. Alright, Dread Stinkweed Dump. Hit an Archamoeba. No, unban Jete, no. I don't know, like, I really feel like the people who are like, let's unban Jitte, let's unban Glimpse from Tomorrow, let's unban Hypergenesis. Y'all are all just bored. You're all just bored, alright? That's all it is. Where, like, all those cards suck to play against. Like, those cards are really unfun to play against. They make games, like, really uninteresting in my opinion. Punishing Fire 2. These cards are, like, boring. They lead to, I think, bad gameplay. They tend to push out, like, one specific archetype. Y'all are just bored. No thanks. Big Zero. Yeah, I agree this Twitch stream's way better than YouTube. Yeah. Obviously there are unfun cards in the format that exist, but like all you do by like Glimpse from Tomorrow is probably a fine card to unban power level wise. But whenever a player casts Glimpse from Tomorrow, you're like ensuring that the turn is going to be like 10 minutes long, or like the turns are like so long with Glimpse from Tomorrow. It's just like, why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Y'all are just bored. That's all it is. You're just bored, and you just want cards to be unbanned to unban them. So they hit an Ox of Agonis, which is pretty scary. How many Creeping Chills have they hit? 2 so far. Glimpse is modern legal? Glimpse is not modern legal. It is banned. Oh, sorry, Glimpse of Tomorrow. Sorry. What am I thinking of? The elves. The elves, 1 mana, draw your deck. Glimpse of Nature. Sorry. Okay, yeah. You got me. You got me. I can admit when I'm defeated. But it's like, as far as like Jitte goes, it's like Jitte really sucks to play against when you're playing a creature deck, and it doesn't matter at all when you're playing a non-creature deck. Like, the card is, you know, it's a really polarizing card. And Modern is a format that has Lava Dart and Plague Engineer and Wrenn and 6. It already has like so many ways to kill little creatures. Unbanning Jitte wouldn't change that too much, but all it would do is like further polarize that tension, you know? And it's not something I'm that interested in. Stoneforge Mystic already, like, also doesn't need a buff. Hammer Time does not need a buff. Like, Hammer Time getting Jitte would be a big buff to the deck. Dude, they hit Conflagrate. Their draw's been pretty good. Probably dead. So I need a Solitude their Amalgam. So they have to spend 4 damage or 5 damage on this. Oh, no, yeah. Then they can only hit me for 6, so they can't just kill me with the Conflagrate. But we're probably dead anyways. Cloud Post? Please don't unban Cloud Post. You just stick it in a Tron deck, you play both Cloud Post and the Tron lands, and it's just, like, too good. Yeah, Green Sun Zenith is way too... there's like a tier of cards on the ban list that I think shouldn't come off the ban list for play pattern considerations, not for power level. But there are cards on the ban list I think should not come off because of power level. And Green Sun's one of them. Green Sun would be like actually broken in Primeval Titan. And for those of you who say, ban Titan, unban Green Sun Zenith, I usually feel like it's bad philosophy to unban a card so you can ban a card. I think it's just like, or ban a card so you can unban a card. Yeah, y'all would like the deck. Wait, what? They cast Golgari Thug? Sorry, I'm dying over here, but they didn't Ox or Conflagrate. What the hell? Why? Why? Are they just trying to Conflagrate me next turn? I'm probably still dead. So what's my line here? Faithful Mending. If I draw Ephemerate, or if I draw, like Persist Archon, could potentially be doing some work. No fucking way. No fucking way. Sorry for the language, chat. So we're up to 15 life now? Ephemerate, let's go. Ephemerate. Okay, not quite that lucky, huh? I can't believe it. We're just so dead if they cast Ox or Mending. I think they were trying to kill me with just a big Conflagrate next turn. I don't know. It was just wrong for them to not. Master, thank you for 12 months. Appreciate you. We might still be dead. They can... Well, I don't know. Probably not dead this turn. We'll see. Just James, 22 months. Thank you so much. Yeah, they can still kill. They can still kill an Archon here with Conflagrate. So I think I'm supposed to block an Amalgam. They can get 7 cards in hand, and then they can't quite kill both Archons unless I'm missing something. They're one short of killing both. Yeah, they did put Amoeba on top with Thug. So I think they're gonna go Conflagrate, kill Archon, Ox, mill the rest of their deck. Dang. How do they consider cards? They cast Loam from their hand. Oh, I guess that only puts them up to 6 cards. Yeah, never mind. But they would cast Loam to go up on cards. Alright, but then they get their Ox back now. Yeah, this is definitely a more traditional Dredge variant. They've already hit 3 Creeping Chills, so we can't die right now, I think. Last Creeping Chill, they also hit Bloodghast. Another Amalgam. 6 cards left in their deck. Another Amalgam. And then that triggers the other Amalgams. Okay, I need to attack. And I need to draw like Ephemerate. I still have 4 Ephemerates in the deck, right? Second Archamoeba. Be really sad to lose this game. Flashback Mending. Fuck. Any reason to grief here? They don't have another Conflagrate in the yard. So I could try to find Ephemerate off the second Mending. Missed. So I'm at 13. My opponent gets 1 or 2 Amalgams back. Just 1. They attack me for 9 plus 4. Plus the Bloodghast. Yeah, I think I'm just dead. Probably shouldn't have discarded Mulldrifter. So, man. 9. Just dead. Dang it, so close. So close to stabilizing there. Okay, so I don't have the ley lines anymore. I'm gonna bring in the Emissary. I need the 4th Teferi to bounce their ley line of the voids. My prismatic endings are probably close to useless. Probably want the Priest of Fell Rites. Yeah, I was dead on board, chat. I was dead on board. I think this is the sideboard plan. I don't think I want Thoughtseize. Alright, let's do this. Terastodon is in the sideboard for Tron and Titan. Did give me a trophy last night, so it stays in the sideboard for now. Alright, on the play. Not a great hand. This is definitely a hand I don't mind keeping, though, if my opponent has kept a Leyline of the Void hand. I think I'm going to try it. Hand has a lot of upside, too. Opponent's draw was really good that game. Yeah, what's the, they just don't have a second land. What's the Trophy Race command? It's, Trophy Race is kind of, you know, a little bit of a, I don't have a good elevator pitch for it, but it's something I've been doing for a couple of seasons now. Just kind of like a challenge within the community to see who can get the most trophies in a season. And The last time I did this, I ended up getting second place in the race at 42 versus 44 versus Y Principe. This is the second time I've done it. The stakes last time, I was gonna gift 400 subs. The stakes this time are I've commissioned real life trophies that are back there. That I will ship to you if you are in first, second, or third place this season, and if I'm not in first place at the end of the season, I have to get a mullet. I have to get a mullet haircut. Yeah, the trophies are really nice. It's been a long time on them. Oh boy. They really keep on the strength of Lightning Axe. My opponent's made a lot of like really weird plays this match. Well, it's not even a bad thing. I would really prefer not to have a mullet. But they're not the end of the world. You're right. It's just kind of a funny bet, right? I also have to keep the mullet for a month. Yeah, finally trophy leader Evan. See, my opponent... Yeah, the opponent's taking some time. I can show off the trophies real quick. This is the first place one. It's really big. It says Crimson Vow, Modern Trophy Race Champion. I don't think I'm gonna grab the other one. It's kind of far away. This is the second place one. The other one's on the other side of the room, but it's nice. It's definitely the smallest of the three. I have to mulligan this. My opponent kept 7. It's good if they kept a leyline hand. I'm gonna keep. Obviously don't love it. Probably would mulligan this on 7. Bummer. Maybe I should gun 5. Probably fine cards on 6. Or fine hand on 6. Alright, it's Creeping Chill, Narcomoeba. There's Camille 2 more here. Just hit Stomping Ground, Cathartic Reunion. And what did they dredge Thug. Okay, so they can also cast a Thug or a Narcomoeba here if they want. Yeah, Sting's at their hand. I guess they had Lightning Axe if I persisted in Archon with this draw. Okay, so let me discard that Narcomoeba, I guess. And then draw a pretty dead card. Yeah, we have some good draws here. Even just drawing like a land Teferi, bounce Narcomoeba is not so bad. Okay, Creeping Chill. What was this other card? Stinkweed Imp. They didn't Shriekhorn. Conflagrate. Okay, they have 2 cards in their hand that can kill my Grief if they want, which I think they should probably just do. Yeah, I think Faithful Mending is the best draw. Obviously, we could chain, like, you know, Unearth into Unmarked Grave, or a land for Teferi is not bad. Kind of weird that they're playing out Thug instead of just Conflagrating, but whatever. They've done a lot of weird stuff this match. Okay, so Teferi, bounce Narcomoeba. A bit awkward into the Conflagrate, but get off the field at least. Mending. Any Faithful Menders in the chat? They do have a Stinkweed Imp in the yard to dredge. Which is... now they have no more dredgers in the yard. Their hand is currently Stinkweed Imp, Narcomoeba, I think Golgari Thug, maybe 2 imps. They also can Conflagrate for 3, and kill both my permanents. They decided not to. Attack here. I'm gonna take a block, I think. Cause I wouldn't necessarily take this block if... Oh, I guess they get the thug in the yard. Oh no, this is so bad. Because they get the thug in the yard now. I wasn't supposed to do this. Fuck. Alright, big draw. Not a bad draw. Not a bad draw. Gives me a lot of outs. Actually, can attack as well. Suppose they can kill this with this. Probably will. Oh yeah, I forgot about the amalgam in hand. Alright, so that triggers their amalgam. Running out of time. Out of touch. They also hit Loam, just a good, you know, enabler for their engine. I added a priest to the sideboard. I've been liking it as one of them in the sideboard. It's obviously a fine card. Kill the priest, deal 1 damage to me. Running out of time. I think I'm not fetching. So I can draw step, ephemerate, hit the loam. We're probably losing here. Block here. Take 6. They just took a draw. Why would they just take a draw? And then they drew loam. Okay, that was weird. I've been playing so weird this match. Okay, so we need to draw like Mending into Persist. Even then we're like dead to Creeping Chill, to be honest. Okay. Feels bad. Feels bad. Let's see. Let's do at least one league with red black. Last league we played of red black. I lost playing for the trophy.